What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Celtics Daily with me, Mike Zakarian, and Boston Celtics. Welcome to the second round, baby, as they finished it up last night at home, sending the Orlando Magic home. So much so, we had to bring out the Luke Cornett jersey for this one to celebrate. Boston sends him home 120 to 89, and you hear that score, and you're probably like, wow, this is a pretty big blowout from start to finish, and that was not the case because at halftime, Orlando was actually winning this game 49 to 47, and then Boston came out. I don't know what they did at halftime. I don't know if Joe Mazzulla put on his favorite 10 minutes of the town. We get some Ben Affleck, some Jeremy Renner. Who's driving? Are we getting those types of lyrics there or quotes during halftime to get everybody pumped up? Because they came out in the third quarter and they won the third 36 to 13, holding the Orlando Magic to 13 points in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, they won it by 10 to 37 to 27. And the Celtics did what they needed to do, and that was slow down Paolo Banchero. We've mentioned this before. The Orlando Magic have two dudes who can score on that team. One of them is Franz Wagner. He put up 25 and 4. The other one is Paolo Banchero, who got into some foul trouble last night. Finished the game with 5 fouls, only 19 points, 9 boards, and 6 times. And if it's not Paolo scoring 40, Orlando's got no shot because they only had one other guy get into double figures. That's Wendell Carter Jr. And then KCP decided to stop hurting people for a game. He scored 8 points. Anthony Black scored 8 points. Not enough, boys, because the Celtics were out there. Jason Tatum continues his insane playoff run this series with 35 points, 10 dimes. That's a double-double for you keeping track at home, and 8 boards, almost 2 shy of the triple-double. Had a steal in there, and only 2 turnovers for all the ball handling. He went 10 for 16 from the field, knocked down 4 of his 5 threes and all 11 free throws. Efficient AF from Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown gave him 23. And then that's it for double figures for the starters. You had 2 guys off the bench. Sammy Hauser finished with 10 points. Peyton Pritchard had finally knocked down some shots. He had 10 points. And then again, the aforementioned Luke Cornett, 9 and 4 in his minutes. And also, listen to this. Sam Hauser, plus 17. Luke Cornett, plus 23. Peyton Pritchard, plus 29. The bench mob was rolling. So big dubs for the Celtics. Now they get to just stay at home in Boston. That was my biggest concern heading into this game. If their eye was off the ball, which is a baseball reference in basketball, then all of a sudden you have to go back to game 6. You have to travel to Orlando. Then there's a little bit more pressure. Then are you dealing with a game 7? No. Celtics stepped on the throat in the third quarter, sends Orlando back to Disney with Mickey Mouse, and now they get to just relax for a few days as they await to see who they are going to play in the second round. And this is important for a lot of reasons. Tatum, the wrist celebration, love it. It's great, but it's also indicative of the fact that he's got a wrist injury. So I want him to have some rest. Jaylen Brown, he's been running around with one leg and one less finger. I want him to be able to rest. Drew Holiday, will he play again? I freaking hope so, but we get a few more days for him to rest. Kristaps Porzingis, maybe he can finally stop bleeding from the head, regrow that unicorn horn, right? So this is great news for Boston. They get to, because no matter who they play in the second round, as the 2 seed, they will still have home court advantage in round 2. So they get to just chill at home, get rest, watch more of the town if you need to, and then get ready for round 2. You know who's already ready for round 2? Jason freaking Tatum. He has been incredible this postseason. So we know he missed game 2, right? After KCP grabbed his elbow, fell on the ground, landed on his wrist, got an x-ray. His mom threatened to fight the Magic. Remember all that? Seems like months ago now. Tatum, in his 4 playoff games this season, he's averaging 31 points, 11 boards, and over 5 assists a game in 4 games. 31, 11, and 5. MVP type numbers. And I don't know what got into him. Is he does he not like his commercial spots? Is he mad that he didn't win the Eastern Conference Finals and Finals MVP? Is he mad he wasn't even in the MVP conversation this season after the year that he had? Maybe he's still mad at Steve Kerr for barely playing him in the entire Olympics, treating him like he was the Jonathan Kuminga of Team USA. I don't know, but I love what I'm seeing. It seems just a little feistier, a little angrier from Tatum, and that is the kind of energy you need heading into a title defense. It's one thing the first time you get to the finals, the first time you get that W, right? But now to come back the second year, especially to repeat I don't know, sometimes the vibe's a little bit different. And the vibe is different for Tatum, but it's like an angry different, and I love it. And especially, and I don't know if he was looking around in the locker room, seeing Jaylen Brown sitting in an ice bucket, seeing Drew Holiday in street clothes and KP bleeding. I don't know if he's seeing all that, and he's like, I need to step up. This is my team. This is my moment. Or I don't know if he started seeing the same therapist that Joe Mazzulla sees or something. But he's got a different energy about him. I love it. I love what I'm seeing. I like that he even commented on Mazzulla yelling at him to get up when he got hurt, and he seems kind of mad about that. And I love that. I love that from Tatum. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the next round because I'll tell you this right now. I know OG Anunoby, if it is going to be the Pistons or Mikal Bridges, have the reputation of being a solid wing defender. Well, if you're not watching this Knicks Pistons series, I promise you there's not a whole lot of defending going on. And whatever matchup Tatum gets in round two is going to be a little bit calmer, a little bit easier for him to get to his spots compared to what we saw in round one. Even if it does end up being Detroit, if they come on some historic comeback, not Sar Thompson's not. I know he's an incredible defender. My money's on Tatum is all I'm saying. So shout out Tatum. I think we're seeing the best of him right now. Foo Fighters. Is this the best of Tatum? Yeah, it is the best. So let's keep this running. I want this historic run to continue with Tatum. Again, 31, 11, and 5. Good Lord. All right, let's talk some Drew Holiday here. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Okay. He's missed too many games. It's making me nervous, and I know Celtics made a big old gamble. They were like, let's just keep resting Drew. We think we can beat Orlando without Drew Holiday, so let's rest him. At least that's what I'm trying to tell myself, so I feel better about it. I don't know if that's what's happening, but that's what I'm telling myself because those soft tissue injuries, whether it's a quad or a hamstring or a groin, those are hard to heal. They take a little bit of time. It's easy to re-injure it. And Drew, like again, you can get through Orlando. Honestly, maybe they can even get past New York or Detroit in round two. But when you start looking at the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals, they are going to need all five guys. Great hamburger, but they're going to need all of them. Even if I don't want to fast forward too much to the NBA Finals, but you think about the OKC Thunder, you're going to need those big old guard defenders, and that's what Drew Holiday is. So I hope they were playing chess and not checkers, just trying to rest Drew, get him healthy, get him ready to go. But that is something that I'm paying attention to. I'm going to be paying attention to some of those beat reporters covering the Celtics as they rest now. And that's, again, why Game 5 was so freaking important that we're going to watch the rest of those round one games like Knicks and Pistons while the Celtics are just sitting back, relaxing. Hopefully somebody's just massaging Drew's leg at all times so we get that up and ready to roll. And if you couldn't tell by that motion, I also massaged my own leg in that moment because I also feel like I'm a part of the team. I am wearing green after all. So Drew, get well soon. Need you back out there. We need you so we can make this title defense happen. Last but not least, what to expect. Let's forecast or look at round two a little bit because a lot of these series are ending. So last night, we might have seen the very last game that Giannis Antetokounmpo plays as Milwaukee Buck as they lose in overtime, in a weird overtime. The Pacers come all the way back in a very short amount of time. They send Milwaukee home. Doc Rivers didn't have the opportunity to lose the 3-1 series because they were down 3-1. If anything, he should see what the Pacers did and put that in his back pocket, try to win a 3-1 series. But the Pacers go on. They're going to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers, who beat the pants off of Miami the other night. And I actually think Indiana could give Cleveland some problems. I'm excited Indiana's on that side of the bracket so that I think the two other toughest teams in the Eastern Conference, sorry, Knicks fans, it's not the New York Knicks. I think it is the Pacers and the Cavs, so I'm glad they're playing each other. We'd only have to deal with one of them when we got there. But the game of the night last night for the Celtics fans was not Boston. It was Detroit winning that game because now the Knicks, clearly Jalen Brunson not 100% healthy. Tibbs has been playing all of his guys 75 minutes a game. The Knicks now have to go back to Detroit. That same scenario I painted about the Celtics having to take care of business at home, the Knicks now have to deal with that crap by going back to Detroit. And there's a little bit more pressure. And Detroit has proven, right, that game one, they were up big and blew the lead. Game four, I think it was. When they were down 2-1, game four, they had that game and then got kind of jobbed by the ref there when they no-called that Tim Hardaway Jr. corner three. So they know they can beat this team. They've essentially beaten them 4 times already. And now they get to go home. That crowd is going to be nuts. But more importantly, it's just putting more mileage on the Knicks if it is going to be the Knicks that prevail and head to round two. And so I'm rooting for 7 games because that's more basketball we get to watch. But more importantly, it's more basketball those guys have to play so that the Celtics are rested and ready to go, taking on a slow, sleepy Knicks and Pistons team. That's what I'm rooting for. But congrats to the Boston Celtics and Bill Belichick voice. Well, Bill Belichick like 10 years ago voice, not what's going on with Bill Belichick right now. We could do a whole separate YouTube channel on what's happening with Bill. It's uncomfortable. I don't want any more information. All right? This goes out to the news outlets. This goes out to Bill and his girl, University of North Carolina. You don't need to share it. I don't want to know anything. Leave me alone. Keep me in the dark in this one. But we're we're on to round two. That was the point of that whole ramble. But I'm glad we got it out there. Uh, I'm pumped for the Celtics team. Again, my only concern right now is health, but they seem to be in good spirit. Everybody's kind of rowing the boat in the same direction, and even Missoula seems locked in. So I'm sure we'll get some weird ass quotes from him in the downtime between round one and round two. But congrats to the Celtics. Congrats to Luka and that baby. Round two. If this is your first time tuning in, appreciate you for being here. Before you get out of here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe. Actually, let's leave a comment. Tell me, who are you most excited to see in round two? Do you want Knicks or do you want the Pistons? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.